Let's talk about one of the most legendary collections of stories ever put together, the Arabian Nights, or as it's also known, 1001 Nights. It's an absolute masterpiece of storytelling, for sure. But the really wild part is the story behind the stories, a narrative where telling a good tale is quite literally a matter of life and death. It all kicks off with this absolutely horrifying vow. You've got a powerful sultan who, completely consumed by rage and heartbreak, starts this brutal, bloody campaign of revenge against all women. And that one cruel decision sets the stage for one of literature's greatest heroes and her incredible plan for survival. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into the sultan's cruel vow. Then, we'll meet the brilliant Scheherazade and her daring plan. After that, we'll explore the incredible structure of the tales themselves, dive into the magical world she creates, and finally take a look at the incredible, lasting power of her stories.
Right? So what on earth could drive a king to do something so unbelievably cruel? Well, the answer, as it so often is a story of just devastating betrayal.
You have to understand, Sultan Shahryar absolutely adored his wife. But when he finds out she's been unfaithful, his world just shatters. That love twists into this deep shame and sorrow, and it breaks his mind. He becomes convinced that all women are deceitful, and he decides he's never going to be hurt like that again. His solution? Make sure no wife of his ever lives to see the sunrise. The entire kingdom is paralyzed with fear as the Sultan's ritual continues, night after night. But just when it seems like all hope is lost, a hero emerges. And her plan is as creative as it is courageous. And this is where our hero, Scheherazade, steps in. She's the daughter of the Grand Vizier. Yep, the same man who has to carry out the executions. She's not a warrior, she's not a magician. Her weapons are her mind, her courage, and the fact that she knows a ton of stories. And she volunteers for what everyone else sees as a suicide mission. And her plan? Oh, it is just genius. It's so simple, but it's flawless. On their wedding night, she starts telling a story that is so captivating, the Sultan is completely hooked. But just as she gets to the best part, dawn breaks. He has to know how it ends, which means he has to let her live for one more day. And she does this again and again, extending her life one cliffhanger at a time. Now this is where the Arabian Nights gets truly revolutionary. See, Scheherazade doesn't just tell one story after another. No, she weaves them together in this incredibly complex and mesmerizing way. Think of it like a set of Russian nesting dolls, you know? The biggest doll, the outside frame, is the main story. Scheherazade telling tales to the Sultan to stay alive. But inside her stories, characters will often start telling their own stories. You get these multiple layers of narrative, and it's a technique that keeps the listener, and more importantly, the Sultan, completely glued. And here you can see that first layer in action. Scheherazade finishes one tale and immediately baits the hook for the next one. She doesn't just start a new story. She frames it as being even better, even more incredible than the one she just told. I mean, who could resist that? The Sultan certainly couldn't. And it just keeps going. The layers just build from there. So, for example, you're in the middle of the fisherman's story, and one of the characters inside that story gets curious about, you guessed it, another story. The whole focus shifts, a new storyteller takes over, and boom. Just like that, we're 2 layers deep. And here we go again, 1 layer deeper. The vizier from the last slide now starts telling his story to King Sinbad. So let's recap. You have Scheherazade telling the story of the fisherman, who is telling the story of a king, whose vizier is now telling the story of a husband and a parrot. It's this dizzying, absolutely brilliant technique that makes the whole world of the book feel endless. But, of course, the mind-bending structure is only half the magic, right? The actual content of these tales is what has captivated people all over the world for centuries. I mean, these stories are just a treasure trove of fantasy and adventure. You've got it all. Powerful genies trapped in tiny little bottles, enchanted horses that can fly, the 7 incredible voyages of Sinbad the Sailor, talking animals, powerful sorceresses, and of course, timeless classics like Aladdin and his wonderful lamp. It's a whole universe of imagination. You know what's really fascinating, though? It's who these stories were originally for. While we might think of them as kids' stories now, the preface to this classic edition by Andrew Lang points out that, no, these were told for adults. Think of them like the epic novels or the prestige TV shows of their day, told by professional storytellers to entertain a grown-up audience. And for all the genies and magic, the stories are actually grounded in a real historical setting. A lot of them are set in Baghdad during the rule of Harun al-Rashid, who was a real and very famous caliph during the Islamic Golden Age. It's this blend of the real and the fantastical that gives these tales such a unique and unforgettable feeling.
So, the big question is, why? Why have these stories stuck around for so long? Why do they still resonate with us so strongly across different cultures and centuries?
Andrew Lang makes this beautiful point in his preface. He basically says that these kinds of stories, they're universal. The details might change from place to place. Maybe it's a talking lion in one culture, a talking bear in another, but those core human themes of love, jealousy, greed, and heroism, they're the same everywhere. The Arabian Nights is just one magnificent version of these deep, shared stories that we all have. So, did her crazy, brilliant plan actually work? You bet it did. For 1,001 nights, she spun her tales. And in doing so, she didn't just save herself and all the other women of the kingdom. She gave the world an immortal collection of stories that would go on to influence literature, art, and film forever.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on. If you were in Shahrazad's shoes, facing this impossible challenge with nothing but your wits and your words to save you, what story would you tell?